I don't know about you guys, but once I hit my 40s, I started watching a lot of relationships around me start to implode. Something about that decade that has people reassessing, growing in different directions and finding themselves wanting different things from life all of a sudden. Add a pandemic and extended periods of lockdown into the mix and boom, there is a lot of tension and strain on relationships. It's no wonder our next guest has found herself incredibly busy. Leanne Kanzler helps women and men rebuild after a breakup. Please give a warm welcome to Leanne Kanzler. Check out the Dax girlfriend. Stunning.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, where do we start?
So much to talk about.
How busy has the pandemic made you? Relationships that were normally separated by work, lots of travel, are now grounded together.
It's been really interesting. Some couples have thrived because they were spending too much time apart and they got to really get to know each other again. But a lot of couples, they didn't get that distance and it became incredibly difficult, and they realised that I can't put up with this person for the rest of my life. It kind of showed them the truth of where they were at, which is horrible in one way and fantastic in another way.
How did you find your own focus on this path? How did you find yourself helping them through their breakups?
So many different ways, but my main focus is the emotional aspect of it. You know, there are intense emotions with divorces and separations, and it has been likened to a death. So there's so much grief, and not being able to get that emotional support prolongs the grief. For some people, I had one guy come to me after 10 years of being separated. And fortunately, just with a little bit of support, he was able to make some massive changes in a very short period of time and come back to himself. So my role, as I see it, is to empower people to rediscover who they were before that relationship and become their true self again.
That's great. That's great advice.
Yeah.
What's some sage advice for anyone struggling with their relationship that you can give them on this show?
If there's any hope, if you think there's any hope, do not wait too long to get therapy. So many people come to therapy when one person is already halfway out the door, and that makes it so much harder. But, you know, truly being honest in a vulnerable way is really hard. But it makes a massive difference to be able to say to someone, I'm not coping with our relationship. I really need us to work on this. I love you, but I'm dying inside. You know, all the things that I had to say to my first husband. And to be able to listen to what your partner says, even though it could be incredibly painful.
So they feel seen and heard and validated.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. It's so true. And you do a lot of work with men.
Yes.
Take us through that journey and the advice and support you're giving and the results that you're getting with men.
I love working with men. A lot of female coaches don't work with men. I'm not really sure why, to be honest, because when a man decides that he wants help, he really wants help, and he's ready and he's open to listen. And often a guy just needs someone to truly hear him. And it's such an honour and a privilege for a man to come to me and say, this has happened more than once, you know, I'm over it, I'm ready to take my life. And to be able to listen to what's happening and help him see hope again is just a beautiful thing, and to help him understand, you know, his depression or his anxiety and give him language to express himself. It's amazing. And you know, to help him with his children, you know, I don't know how to connect to my kids. I don't know how to deal with my ex. I don't know how to deal with all of it. it's a beautiful thing.
It really is. And as you said, when a guy finally puts his hand up and say, hey, I kind of need some help here, it's a big step. And I love that you work in that space. So as a mum of boys and grandsons, and I guess some people here are watching at home, you might have some men and young boys in your life. What's some advice and tips you can give us on how we can educate and raise them and teach them that it's okay to say, I'm not doing okay today. What can we do?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is to really ask. Ask your sons, ask your partners, ask your brothers, your friends, all of that. And don't allow the, standard child answer to be the answer. And share with them how you're feeling as well. Often as parents, we think that we have to, be really tough and not let our kids see anything. And that doesn't mean that we fall apart in front of our children, but it's okay to say to our kids, I'm having a tough time today, because that teaches them that it's okay to talk to you about how they're feeling. So I found that personally, when I was going through my divorce, talking to my children about age-appropriate things, nothing bad about their dad, never anything bad about their dad, because that is just abuse in my opinion. It helped them to open up to me about how they were feeling with the whole thing as well. So using lots of feeling words. There's plenty of things on the internet we can print out little feelings charts, age-appropriate ones with faces and things that we can show our kids, okay, how are you feeling?
Yes.
I actually do this with my clients. Grown adults who I say, how are you feeling? And they go, I don't know. And I go, okay, here's a list.
Happy face, angry face, really angry face.
Yeah. Pick a word. How are you feeling? And they can sit there for like 2 minutes going, oh my God, there are way too many words here. And then they finally go that, and that. Go, yeah.
Amazing. Look, we hope that this show is being watched somewhere around the world. There could be someone right now watching you going through a really bad breakup. Please, what advice would you give to them?
You don't have to go it alone. There are so many people out there who can help you, whether it be your GP, me, your friends, your family. A lot of people withdraw because they find it too hard to talk about. They think that your friends and family, they're over it, they're sick of you, all of that sort of stuff. And, I spend a lot of time coaching my people to reconnect with their family and friends, because sitting in a corner by yourself drinking a bottle of wine every night is never going to help. But being able to go out and have some fun can help. And when I say fun, I don't mean moving on too quickly, because that won't help either. So there's a fine line, and asking for help from anyone rather than going through it by yourself is really, really important. Unfortunately, a lot of people get to the point where they take their own lives at this time, which is one of the reasons I decided to work with men, because the suicide rate is higher in men and worse, after a divorce or separation. So just being able to say, help me, makes a difference.
Absolutely, great advice. And Leanne, what do your girlfriends going through your own divorce, what do your girlfriends mean to you?
Everything. I have got amazing girlfriends, and we talk to each other about crazy things, deep and meaningful things, business, partners, relationships, the moon cycles, the menstrual cycles. We talk about everything.
We talk all about all the cycles.
Yes. And without them, I probably wouldn't be sitting on this lounge today, because they're really supportive, and to be open and honest like that is a gift.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Are you loving the Girlfriend Hour so far? We hope you've been inspired by the wonderful women you've seen sharing their stories. Do you have an inspiring story of your own to share? We're looking for magic just like yours. Be featured in Feminescence magazine and start your own exciting media journey. Join many other fabulous women who've been profiled in Feminescence magazine. Unlock access to an international audience, propel your career, and expand your network. Make today the day you back yourself. What are you waiting for? Visit feminescence.com.au to find out more.